Hi. A retrospective is any time your team reflects on the past to improve the future by creating an action plan to drive continuous team improvement. I am Johanna Torstensson and is an agile coach in Sweden. I created the Sailboat retrospective template to enable a fun and easy way to boost communication during an online retrospective. It covers what has worked well and what made us feel good and what slowed the Scrum team down during the current sprint. And everything is packaged in a sailboat themed metaphor. Based on the topics addressed during a retrospective, the team agrees on improvement activities needed for future sprint. You can use this template on any team. It doesn't have to be a Scrum team. And then instead of referring to the current sprint goal, you can simply refer to current iteration goal or any goal that your team might have had for a certain period. First, start the retrospective by setting the stage, by introducing the team to the sailboat metaphor. So let's head over to the canvas, to the board, and zoom in a little bit on the canvas here. And first, let's have a look at the sprint goal. So this tropical island represents the set sprint goal that they have aimed to achieve in their daily work during the sprint. And above the tropical island, the sprint goal, you will find the sun. And the sun represents all the things making them feel good and happy during the work. As a retrospective is a time for team celebration. This is a highly appreciated topic to bring up and an opportunity to bring forward kudos to your team friend. And the wind is on the very left here. The wind represents everything helping the team to achieve the sprint goal, pushing the team's sailboat to go even faster. And below here we have the anchor. The anchor on the sailing boat represents everything that is slowing them down and holding them back on the journey towards the sprint goal. And the reef, of course. The reef represents potential risks ahead that the team see will jeopardize future sprint work. So let's zoom out a little bit so we can see the whole canvas again like this. So let's walk through the different steps together of how it might look during a retrospective. After everyone is familiar with the metaphor and understand the different elements of the wind, the sun, the anchor, and the reef, it's time to gather some data from the team members. So you simply ask each team member to write stickies individually in silence on the board for 5 to 7 minutes or so. Now, this is quite a nice moment to see the board build up with team members' own reflections of the sprint and how the sprint went. So when done, it's time to share and discuss what they have written on the stickers, 2 and 2 or 3 in breakout rooms. So I found this step in the retrospective very appreciated by the team members since it lets everyone talk freely and it's less formal than in the main room. Back again in the main room after 10 or 15 minutes or so, each pair then summarize the discussion during the breakout so all team members can hear what has been discussed. So make room for questions from the others during the walkthrough. And also ask the team members to group stickies if there are topics similar to each other. So what have the team learned? What ideas do they have? What would they like to change going forward? So now we have lots of feedback from the team member, and it's time for team voting on the topics that needs their focus going forward. So it could be topics helping the team go forward, so they need to continue with these to keep momentum, or topics related to what is slowing them down or potential risks coming up. So use the voting functionality in Miro board to make this really quick and simple. So I will just open the voting here, and then it's automatically saying 3 votes and 2 minutes. So of course you can change this to whatever you like. Depends on how many you are in the meeting, of course. Then you need to ensure that you have all the stickies in the voting area, so it's possible to vote for those. And a tip is also to choose just sticky notes, so it's not possible to vote on the picture and on different items on the picture. And then you start the voting. And usually when I facilitated retrospective, I don't join the voting since I'm neutral, but for demo purpose, I will join the voting now so you can see how it looks like. So I will pick 3 activities here that I think is very important as a team member. Then I click I'm done. And if everyone is done and complete, then it's time to end the voting session, and for all, so we can get a result. And based on the highest voted topics, the teams now agrees on the improvement actions going forward in the next sprint. So here you need to look at the highest voted topics and then write new stickies for the improvement actions. So try to limit the numbers of improvement actions, since it's better to focus on 1-2 items and complete those rather than have many ongoing at the same time. So I will close the voting now, and here we have the canvas again. So when you have your improvement actions, 1-2 new stickies, perhaps a new color than the colors on the canvas, you need to assign it to discuss who will take responsibility for these improvement actions and add it to the team's backlog and keep it visual for everyone during upcoming sprint. Take a minute at the end of the retrospective to discuss how it went, and be open and encourage feedback from the team, and look for ways to improve the retrospective the next time around. I hope this Sailboat retrospective template help you and your team finding ways to continuously improve your work together. Have fun.